Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales in the form of physical delivery, offshore depositories, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology.
Joining us for a conversation is Judson Coulter, the CEO of Rover Metals. Mr. Coulter, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Maurice. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you back on the program, sir. We last spoke in August, and since then, Rover Metals has commenced drilling on the high-grade Cabin Lake Gold Project located in the Northwest Territories of Canada. Before we begin, Mr. Coulter, for first-time listeners, who is Rover Metals?
Thanks, Maurice. We are a mining exploration company focused on precious metals, and right now we've got 2 gold projects, and we're just advancing the resource potential of our existing gold projects. So that's our focus for the next 6 months.
Yeah, Judson, I've noticed that Rover Metals is gaining a lot of attention in the market. Why is that?
Well, I think we're in a, it goes without saying, look at the price of gold. I mean, we've got a known historic resource, and we're drilling it to the next level. So, people are starting to pay attention, not just to our company, but I think to the sector as a whole.
And you've also got infrastructure and hydro. Can you expand on that for us?
Yeah, our signature asset, Cabin Lake, is 120 kilometers northwest of the city of Yellowknife, which is, a major hub for mining in the northern Canada. We've got an all-season road that is being built by the federal government. The existing highway infrastructure takes us 40 kilometers to our project. Then there's a nice road if needed in the winter. There's nearby hydro that exists already. Then you've got other, proven projects, gold projects actually, to the north of us that all-season road is being built for. So we're sort of building our project on the back of existing infrastructure and infrastructure coming online. So,
Judson, what is the driving thesis for Rover Metals in regards to the Cabin Lake Gold Project?
Well, it's a high-grade project historically, and it's an iron formation, a traditional iron formation. But we believe there's also a quartz-based system that is bringing the high grade into the system. And the hypothesis really is, we've seen the iron formation wrap through the project like a radio wave, if you will. It's just, it's roughly 800 hectares in size, and this radio wave wraps through the project. And we think the grades and the gold is hosted, along strike and at depth. And that's part of this drill program, is to better understand the historic resource, relocating it. That's a big part of it, as well as, really developing the resource model for future drilling.
The geology mirrors some other projects. Who do they mirror?
Well, right now, based on our understanding, we think that this could be let's just say, like a lupin mine, which is formerly the Northwest Territories, now Nunavut, or the Homestake mine in South Dakota. Those are traditional iron formation hosted gold deposits.
Please provide us with some historical background on the Cabin Lake Gold Project, which dates back to the 1940s.
Yeah, that's when drilling first started there. I think more recently, the major drilling was done by Freeport McMoran and Aber Resources, in the mid and late 1980s. But there hasn't been, outside of our work, which was done in 2018, geophysics, there hasn't been any drilling for like 33 years. So here we are starting, Labor Day weekend. We're going in there and drilling again. So it's exciting. So.
Yeah, you referenced the drilling. You did some in 2018. You're commencing it right now. And what were the results from the exploration that improved the confidence on the gold project?
So we've logged three holes now. It's been a little bit slow going just initially because of the amount of overburden. So we've had to drill anchors for the drill pad. So that's why, even though we started Labor Day weekend, we haven't been running a night shift either. So now we've got a night shift. And so we've got 3 holes completed and logged. There's been deviation in terms of when they drilled in the 80s, they used a much smaller drill rig, and it's much smaller core. So we've now figured out that the historical holes deviated from their, planned angle. So that they ended up being shallower. So we've now been able to adjust all the historic data and our current program. And the good news is that we, after the second hole, we learned about that deviation. So the third hole did intersect the mineralization that we were targeting, as did the first hole. So what we've been able to relocate is those historical intersects, and now plan the rest of our program accordingly. And we don't have the results assayed from those 2 holes that did intersect the target, but what we are seeing is they've hit a very similar log intersect on what's known to run as high grade across very similar widths and lengths. So we've got roughly 15 meters on each of the holes that has intersected sort of a disrupted high sulfidized quartz iron formation, and that's going to help us with, we've got, roughly 7 more holes to go on the program. And the good news is we're sort of on target at this point.
So just in summary, we're dealing with an underground, early stage brownfield exploration gold project with a historical high-grade resource next to a new cobalt gold mine. Now, the location in and of itself makes the opportunity quite interesting. Is the goal to sell the project or develop it into a commercial scale mine?
The goal with right now, the short-term goal is, absolutely just to prove it up. We're one of the newer entrants into the Northwest Territories in terms of a publicly traded mining junior. And so I think if we do our job right, which is, just get to work, prove up that resource. We're hoping to get to 85,000 ounces inferred here from the small program of 1,100 meters, and then go back in there in Q1 and expand on that resource. And so if we do our job, the M&A cycle that's coming in this sector, we go through the list, but, top of my mind, let's go with, there's Gold Mining Inc., there's Gold Terra Resources, there's Nighthawk Gold, all companies right on our doorstep that are, 5 times our market cap plus. That would be, the hope is that we would be able to, and then, hopefully it might just be an M&A. I don't want to necessarily lose my job either, right?
All right, switching gears. I've had the opportunity to interview legendary investors Rick Rule, Doug Casey, just to name a few, and their number one criteria in deploying capital wasn't the latent material on the ground, it's the people. And Rover Metals has done a remarkable job by having in place serially successful industry leaders with your board of directors, your management, and technical teams. Let's discuss the teams that make the Cabin Lake Gold Project come to fruition, beginning with the top. Who is on Rover Metals' board of directors and advisors?
Yeah, our board of directors is, a seasoned group of northern miners. And, Lou Cavallo, let's just start there. Lou's mostly retired, but, he loves rocks and loves the north and loves geology and loves exploration. So he's still involved with us, and he's no longer running Aurora Geosciences, which was formerly Cavallo Bryan and Associates. But he's with us, and he's with a few other northern explorers and water boards in the Northwest Territories, and brings with that great years of relationships with First Nations, government, Keith Minty. Keith is a seasoned mining engineer. He's worked on projects all over the world, did his stint in Yellowknife at the Giant Mine. And so, again, another great guy to have on our team. We do have a secondary asset that is immediately adjacent to the Giant Mine. So, Keith's involvement also on that project is key to us. And then, we've got Eugene Hodgson. Eugene's father, Stuart Hodgson, was the former commissioner. So Eugene politically is very well connected for us. And, that's important because, we're doing a lot of social endorsement for our project at an early stage, getting, just buy-in from, the community and our neighbors. And in this case, in Cabin Lake's case, that's the Tlicho First Nations. So all that stuff is really important in shepherding the process of a mining project. So that's our board. Our advisory team is set up also for new deals and new project and M&A. So, Bob Schaefer, very well-known name in mining, especially U.S. mining, is this very senior guy at Kinross, has had about 3 discoveries to his name internationally. And now, we've looked really hard at Nevada, and we would still like to get a project in Nevada. And so, as we gear back up after this exploration program, and in Q1 of next year, when the border hopefully is a little more friendly, we could start taking a run at some gold projects in Nevada again.
How about management? Let's start with the CEO, Judson Coulter. What makes him qualified for the task at hand?
I guess I cut my teeth in the mining industry as the CFO and sort of co-founder at Dolly Varden Resources, and have my I guess education and is I'm a CPA, and I've sort of learned all the inner workings of running a public company and a publicly traded mining junior. So that allows us to run really lean in terms of corporate securities costs, corporate secretary, legal, financial statement filing, and so on and so forth. And, just having learned the business now in the last 10 years, working with junior miners, just sets us up to be very patient and methodical, and have a very low burn rate and really just, build the company consistently over time. And we're still out there. We're still listed. 2019 was a lean year for us, but, we're still standing. And, I think that's pretty representative of, how we're going to, continue to chip away.
Speaking of lean, let's discuss some numbers. Please share the capital structure for Rover Metals.
This financing, as announced this morning, has now closed. So we've got 70 million shares outstanding. We are fully financed. We just raised 1.2 million.
And is that all the cash and cash equivalents that you have currently?
We've got some bonds that are related to our exploration permits, but that's restricted cash, so we won't talk about that per se. I mean, there's like about 120,000 in restricted cash, right? So,
what is your burn rate?
Yeah, our burn rate's about 50,000 a month, and that includes some of these conferences that are now virtual. That includes marketing. That includes CFO, myself. And outside of exploration season, right? So our budget for this program that we're drilling is 700 to 750,000. So that's so our burn rate has increased between now and sort of end of October, if you will. But thereafter, it's roughly 50,000 a month.
How much debt do you have?
We have 40,000 on a federal government interest-free loan. So that's interest-free for 2 more years. So, a year and a half. So just taking advantage of some free money, free credit.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, you just referenced financing. Who financed the project, and who's financing the project, I should say, and what is their level of commitment? Yeah,
we've got of the 1.2 million, only about 20% of that was from existing shareholders, and the Canaccord Genuity, there's been 4 brokers. Well, I mean, there's actually more like 6, but 4 key brokers that really liked our story, the sort of geologist that reviews a lot of their mining assets internally at Canaccord liked the project, and so it passed sort of the sniff test, and then we've got 4 really good names and in the brokerage community at Canaccord, and I'll just rattle a few names off. So Rob Reynolds, senior broker in Vancouver. Of course, his brother Paul was former CEO. Bernie DeGruda, the Calgary office, really likes the project. Ray Martin in Vancouver, he's been a big supporter. Tavis Michaud. And we're going to continue to build that relationship at Canaccord. And I'm heading to Toronto this week, and we're wanting to appoint Abington Capital, which is an exempt market dealer in Toronto. Neil Johnson runs the shop there. Hoping to appoint them as to our advisory board, and continue to build our retail brokerage support in Toronto on this coming trip. So,
leaving the institutions, who are some of the major shareholders?
Yeah, Legendary Mining, like early stage Legendary Mining investor Tukey Stewart Angus. He's a large shareholder, an early backer. Oshawa Mehra, chairman at GT Gold. He's participated continuously in each of the financing since our IPO financing when he first got involved, and that was in June 2018. He's a very large shareholder now. And Keith Minty. Keith is our president and one of our directors. He's been a big supporter since the start, since we got going on the IPO route in 2017. So 3 great shareholders to have, yeah.
Judson, based on the data available, what type of value proposition do we have in comparing the current market price with what you believe the price can and should be?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say safe harbor on this comment in terms of forward-looking statements, but the unpublished historical resource from all of our data, at Aber and also Freeport-McMoRan suggests an 85,000 ounce high-grade gold historical resource. So this program, we're hoping to move that up to an inferred category. So let's just say hypothetically, there's 85,000 ounces. During the last super cycle in mining, the valuation could be as good as $100 US per ounce. So that would suggest that we should be like a $12 million US company. We're not. We are a on a good day right now, $4.5 million, $5 million US dollar market cap company. So I think we're undervalued. I think there's a really good opportunity in the market to buy, and we're obviously hoping to start getting our core assayed into the market here in October. So,
multi-layered question: what is the next unanswered question for Rover Metals? When can we expect a response, and what will determine success?
Multi-layered question. Well, let's see, Maurice. You always got to hook me, before the end of the interview. I mean, again, it's right now today. We don't know what we don't know. I mean, the good news is the sulfidization intersects that we were hoping to get on this program. We're getting them. We are trying to get a better understanding of what's hosting the high-grade gold on this project, and we're wanting to get an inferred resource out to the market. And so, that's really what we're doing in the next 3 months. And I think a lot of our success will be predicated on the ability to raise another financing before the end of the year. In Canada, we have that charities flow through sort of tax advantage way to raise money for exploration drilling. So the hope is that we'll be able to raise a good portion of the November financing at 30% premium to market close, so non-dilutive. And I think that being able to put away a good size financing by the end of Q4 and get back to drilling at Cabin Lake in January, February. That's our goal and that's our focus.
Do you have a target as far as how many meters if you were to have the opportunity to drill in January?
Yeah, 3,000. I mean, as I'd mentioned at the sort of top of the call here, the way the iron formation, the best way I can think to describe it without having a graph behind me is that like a radio wave just wrapping throughout, the claim. And there's only really been two locations here on the iron formation that have been drilled, and so the 3,000 meter program would continue at depth. Iron formations run deep. Like as we press released this morning, our hole number 3, we stopped drilling at 91 meters and it was still in the iron formation. So, like obviously if that runs on the assays, we'll get back in there, re-drill to depth, but we need to test the continuity of this iron formation. Also, if you go to our website and you look at the presentation materials, there's 3 or 4 nose folds, and that's where you can get 2 to 3 times the high grade. And so that program in January, February is going to continue to test those nose folds and those hinges to see if they do run with higher than that 14 grams per ton that we know exists already. And we may, if we're lucky, we may even say one at Andrews South if we don't continue to have problems with overburden on this program and we stay on budget. We will hopefully be able to test one of those 4 nose folds, but certainly by January on that 3,000 meter program, we'll be testing that as well.
Last question, sir. What did I forget to ask?
Maurice, you never forget to ask. You got it all. You would do it. They call it proven and probable for a reason, right? So you're grilling me over here. So I think we got it covered. Maurice, before we close the interview, I just wanted to remind your viewers and subscribers that we do have 3 conferences that we'll be presenting our exploration results to upcoming here in September, as well as the remainder of Q4. So this coming weekend, we'll be in Muskoka, north of Toronto, meeting with a lot of Toronto brokers at a capital event conference. I'll be there in person. It's a small social distancing, if you will, controlled event at the JW Marriott in Muskoka, Cottage Country, Ontario. We'll also be doing a virtual conference for the New Orleans Investor Conference, and that's in mid-October. So I encourage anybody to subscribe and register to have a one-on-one with Rover. I'll be presenting for the company at the New Orleans conference, and we'll be discussing the assay results for this current drill program at Cabin Lake. And then we're also registered for the European Precious Metals Conference, which is the beginning of November. And at that point, we should expect to have all of the 1,100 meters of this program assayed, and we can discuss in detail our exploration model for Q1 of next year.
Sounds good. Mr. Coulter, if investors want to get more information about Rover Metals, please share the contact information.
Just please visit our website at www.rovermetals.com, and you can visit the Contact Us page and be in touch with us that way.
Mr. Coulter, thank you for joining us today, and wishing you and Rover Metals the absolute best, sir.
Thank you, Maurice.
All the best, sir.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.